Okay, hello, and welcome back to SLR. We've got the F2 division here for you tonight, Thursday evening. So we're getting back into the swing of things now, obviously after the short break in between seasons. We're here already though for round 4 of the F2 season. Here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Yeah, I'm joined by Jam again. It's Ham, obviously, as you probably know by now. But yeah, I'm joined by Jam again this week. We've got some F2 for you. I'm just trying to find the championship standings actually, just to see what's going on. I think we all know, we could all guess at who's top. But after that, it's just want to check what's happening. Yes, so round 4 of the F2 Championship. Zydrad currently top of the standings on 115 points. He's followed by SLR McEwen on 77, and then Summoners on 60. Of course, Jam and I did feature in the first round at Bahrain, but we've unfortunately had to drop back to reserves. But enough about us. We've got the racing going on. So then, Jam, obviously you know a bit about the F2 cars. How do you think? Well, for a start, this kind of differs towards the F1 in terms of setups and just general sort of driving.
Um, yeah, well, I should think things like wings will be pretty similar to the F1 cars because obviously they'll want to be quick on the straights, but because the F2 cars are quite a bit slower in the corners, so they'll also need a bit of pace around there. I honestly couldn't tell you that much about the setups, but I should imagine it'll be quite similar. But no, obviously they're slower. They have less downforce, so they're slower in the corners. But getting that straight line speed is really important because it can be quite tricky to overtake in an F2 car if you've not got the setup right, or it can be really easy if you have. So yeah, the setup can be crucial, and I think it'll be quite similar to the F1 cars. So around sort of 4.6, 4.7, 5.7, something like that on the wings.
Yeah, we've got 18 drivers in tonight. I'm just going to follow SLR McEwen around. Here's that. Sort of like what we used to do when we commentated over the F2. It's one-shot quali, of course, for the F2 division, because unfortunately otherwise you have to do a 30-minute session, and that's sort of just a bit too much. But yeah, this is Spain. This is actually the third track that would be visited in real life in the normal calendar. But obviously we've kind of implemented some more tracks into the calendar here just to stretch out the season, make it a bit more, well, enjoyable, I guess. Have the guys driving around some different tracks. No surprises really, just looking over to the timings, with Zydrad on top and McEwen in P2. They're just coming around the final corner now. So is it going to stay like that? It is Zydrad on pole. Yeah, 3.5, 4/10 clear. We'll run you through the order in a minute, as we've just been abruptly stopped there with everyone just finishing their laps. So it's Zydrad from McEwen, and then Darnell. So MP locking out. MP 2-3, sorry. It's a Darnell second row with Summoners in P4. JH in the Campos is 5th. Merckx is in 6th. He's currently 4th in the championship. Then it's Nicky P7, Racer Order P8, Smoke P9, and Sem is 10th. We had a few guys disqualified there, and a couple have gone for the hards.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Hitkin's gone on the hards, because obviously you get a free choice of tyres for the start of the race. So yeah, it almost seems like there was no point in doing that, but yeah, oh well.
I'm just going to ask if you can excuse me for a second, because the game volume is extremely quiet, so I'm going to try and sort that out. Have you got the Twitch chat up, James?
I have,
because I'm
yeah.
just wondering if it's the same, if someone could perhaps just let us know if the game volume was really quiet on that formation lap then as well. Right, I'll try and fix this.
Yeah, game volume's very quiet.
Yeah. Let's go in audio. What we got it on? Oh, it's really low. Right, let's put everything up a couple. Hopefully that's a bit better. Probably don't want to hear me rambling on anyway, so it's probably a bit better if we have the game volume up a bit. Right then, what we got? Formation lap as well then. Has anyone opted to go, if we just get the telemetry and stuff up, has anyone opted to go for a different tyre strategy? Looks like we've got Hicklin and Liam on the hards, everyone else has gone for the mediums. Of course with the F2, if you can't pit within the first 3 laps if you wanted to or if you needed to. It does, well, you can, it just doesn't count as the mandatory pit stop. Of course, in the feature race, 1 mandatory pit stop is required, whereas in the sprint, you don't need to pit. You can't pit at all under the VSC. It won't count as your mandatory pit stop anyway. And that's, well, there's not too much more to it, obviously. I think everyone knows by now kind of the ground rules with the F2. That'll be interesting thing to keep an eye on though. Obviously the battle for around about that 8th place position, which is of course the reverse grid pole. It's currently occupied by Race Roller, so he's put himself in a good position on the starting grid here for the feature race to well, occupy that spot come the end.
Comes off in the formation
and yeah, we've got a driver off. Is that Vigo off on the formation?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but he just seemed to go straight on into the gravel. And he's
disqualified as well. There we go.
Not a good
driver,
start.
Of course, he's returning for the F2.
Yeah, I was going to say not a great start on his return to the league, but I'm not sure if he was actually in control of it. Then it looks a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
So hopefully that won't cause any issues.
I think the game volume's still a little quiet. Actually, I really can't hear it myself. So let's just try and bump it up a bit more, I guess. It's gonna probably be really loud now. But yeah, so we're just coming around to finish the formation lap, and then we're gonna have a race. On our hands. So just lining up on the grid. I'll try and find a bit of a better camera angle for you as well.
Yeah, that sounds better to me now that you changed it.
Alright, nice. Alright, if we can find a better camera angle.
I'll go somewhere near the back and see what happens.
No, the camera angles are all rubbish. Okay, no, we're alright, here we go. 5 red lights, pretty quick. Oh, McEwen's already.
Yeah, that was a big jump start.
He has got a really good start.
Nicky's
we've got a Arden off. Whoa, yeah, Nicky really struck him there,
yeah.
I think, on the traction. But it is McEwen from Zyjag, but McEwen with that drive through. Then it is Southerners, Darnell, Merckx, JH. They look to be getting through turns 1, 2. Just about alright, although we've got someone off again. So both the Ardens there not getting great starts. Cooper Ben's off as well into the gravel. We've got a bit of jostling for position down around the 7th, 8th spot as Sem goes wheel to wheel here with Race Roller. They're battling it out here for P7. It's going to be Sem down the inside. Is he going to get the move done? Just about. Yeah, good move there from Sem into turn 5. Getting up into P7 there in the Trident.
He's had a good start at 3 places.
Let's see how these...
Same for Jester, Hicklin and Wrangle all at 3 positions. Having said that, their race will come back at Sem Harry.
Tackle turn 9 because it's not going to be flat out in these cars. But yeah, here we go then. They're still going at it, Race Roller and Sem. And I think Race Roller's just gotten back up the inside there into the hairpin of turn 10. And they're going back up the hill now, turns 11, 12, 13, this long right-hander. I do believe we've got a car off as well, Jan. McEwen's off, so not only has he got a drive-through, I think he's also just lost it on the traction.
And that's a safety car.
Coming out of turn 13, we have got some sort of stoppage. Unfortunately, we don't actually quite know what it is. I believe it's a VSC. So McEwen as well, not even going to be able to serve his drive-through. So that's, well, things are going from bad to worse for him. So it is Zydrad from.
Oh, he's out,
Southerners.
he's smashed into the pit wall, Harry.
Out as well. Oh no.
I think he's got wing damage from just completely understeered into the pit wall and his front left tyre just came clean off.
Seems as though it's a lap to forget then from McEwen. I'm sure he'll be looking to bounce back then for the sprint race. But for the feature, that is, well, that's his afternoon over. We've got Darnell in P3. And then I think it's Merckx behind him, but of course we're getting accustomed now to the graphics not really helping us out. Yeah, they're sorted out now. So JH as well, P5, I believe that's where he started.
Also, it's a third lap.
Moving up in position, does it? It's the third lap.
And
what's going on? We've got
Nicky and
Ranger. Oh, Nicky and Beast. All right, we'll go to that then. Yeah, we've got Nicky and Beast battling it out for. What's that, P11 and P12. I think Nicky's just had to drop back a little bit. Obviously the dirty air will affect these F2 cars a little bit more than the F1 cars, given that they have less downforce. So Beast, I don't know whether he got up into 11th there, was it, Jan?
Yeah, I think it was. I couldn't quite tell, I just got the end of it, so I wasn't quite sure which way round it was.
Oh, Nicky nearly losing it again on the traction coming out of turn 13, but he does well to hold it. So save there from him. Zydrad already checking out in front as well, that's something that we've been seeing on a regular occasion this season. I think Beast has got a pretty decent run here on Baggy Fan. It looks as though he's got a better exit out of the final couple of corners. Don't think he's going to be close enough to go for a move though. He has a little look.
Might have got him with the
Baggy Fan though, he's there, but yeah, he's not close enough. And we've got Racer Roller in fact.
Oh, big crash, massive crash.
So now with JH, and we've got JH round. JH has gone round on the exit of turn damage.
But that was Sem as well, both spinning.
That too, or...
Not really, no, none of them have damage either, so looks like it wasn't a crash, it was just synchronised spinning perhaps.
Because we've got a bit of a battle here in the midfield, battle for 8th really. I think Ranger's trying to join in, as is Nicky. We've got Beast there in the foreground, looking for a move on Baggy. He's really pushing him through these corners now at the moment. Baggy in the Prema, Beast in the UNI Virtuosi. I think he's got the DRS now. So he's going to have a look down the inside. Is he into turn 10? Yes, he is. Late on the brakes, down the inside. Baggy does well to leave him the room, but Beast, pretty easy move there. Up into P8. Smoke as well, as you see, just up ahead, battling with Precious Jester, and it looks as though Smoke's just had to put that on hold for the moment. I think he's going to get a pretty good run down the straight if he can stick with him. Zydrad sets the fastest lap and his gap out in front is already over 2.5 seconds.
I think it's going to be a battle between the Darnell
brothers
for the second here, Harry.
Yeah, Darnell within 0.2 of his brother. Having a look at Jester, but just too far back on this occasion. Let's quickly switch over then to the battle for second place. And as you're right, yeah, we have got Darnell then. He's right behind Summoners. We're going to try and just follow him round. He'll have the DRS coming onto the back straight, exiting turn 9. And look at him, he's putting Summoners under pressure, and a little bit of a loss of traction there from Summoners, as we've got another retirement there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Dorsey's had to Callum. He got a drive-through penalty for Jim start, spun, and then crashed into the pit wall, and his tyre came off.
Oh, Darnell late on the brakes.
So it wasn't a great first lap.
A little bit of a heart and mouth movement there, perhaps, as he got a little bit too close for comfort there.
Smoke at the inside for the P6, sorry Harry. This is going side by side for the final sector, now him and Crafty.
Oh yeah, he's nearly lost it as well.
And Beast is poking his nose in as well.
So Smoke nearly losing it on the turn sort of 12, 13 little chicane, and Beast opportunistically trying to have a look as Jester's nearly lost it on the traction there, but he does well to hold it. But he has now got Beast right on the back of him here. I don't think Jester's going to be able to hold on to P7 for too much longer, as he's not even got DRS as well, so it's allowed Smoke to scamper away as well. So Beast then, he's looking to make another move here, up into P7. Nicky's getting involved as we look behind. Nicky down the inside as well on Jester. and he does well there to not hit Beast as well, as he went late on the brakes to get the move done, and he just about avoids it as well. We've got Baggy Fan and Ranger in the background. They're also battling it out. We'll see if we can have a little look at that, as all the drivers there, the dirty air, really proving to be a bit of a pain. But here we go then, Ranger down the inside of Baggy into turn 4. Can be quite a good overtaking spot, and I think Ranger's displaying that quite well. Gets the move done up into P10, so he's in the final points paying position as it stands, as already the field's starting to spread out a bit. We have still got Darnell and Sumner's fighting, but now Merckx has latched onto the back of them as well. They're now running in a little train of 3, battling it out for second place. Baggy might have a look back at Ranger here though, as he's quite close to him, although I think again the dirty air just providing a little bit of a setback there, as I don't think the position is going to be changing into turn 11 this lap, into turn 10 sorry this lap. Baggy picks up a penalty. A few drivers seemingly losing the back end a little bit on that turn 11-12 chicane. Tydrad yet again setting the fastest lap. His gap now out in front is already at 4 seconds. If we just
move for P2, Harry, sorry.
Move for P2, yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. We've also got Baggy Fan coming into the pits jam. Darnell past Southerners then. So Darnell up into P2. Apologies, I was just trying to catch my bearings there. JH as well, battling with Liam, if I can try and catch that on the screen. There we go then, we've got it. JH moving to the right down the main straight. He's got the inside lines to turn 1. Pretty easy move there, but he is on the softer compounded tyres as well. That is the other thing to note. So Liam doing pretty well on the hards. He is the furthest up hard runner at the moment. Again though, look at the dirty air through that turn 3. It's really proven to be putting these drivers offline. But I don't think Liam's giving this up just yet. He seems to be pretty good under braking. But I think that compound softer tyres, the softer compounded tyres for JH, just giving him that better traction out the corners. And I'm going to quickly switch back to the leaders, because we've got Merckx now right on the back of Southerners. Not going to be quite close enough to go for a move here though. But Darnell goes deep into the hairpin, and it's going to allow them to close up to him. Southerners and Merckx. Racer Roller as well, not too far behind in P5. I wonder if he'll be able to try and catch up to the back of these guys as well. Although having said that, the gap has just increased ever so slightly. Beast and Nicky as well on the back of Smoke. So we've got a few little battles happening here as Southerners pits, as does Merckx. So Southerners, I think, has pulled the trigger. Merckx follows him in. Darnell stays out, so these two guys are going to try and look for the undercut here. As we've just started, is it lap 7 or lap 6? I don't know if that glitch has sorted itself out yet. We've got a few more pitting as well. Nicky stays out, but we've got Beast and Smoke into the pits. We've also got, is that Ranger as well? Yeah, Ranger's into the pit. So we're seeing quite a few drivers coming in now to make their pit stop, going onto the hard compound tyres. I don't know if you've seen any of the pit action jam. I don't know if anyone's been held up by anyone yet.
Not that I can see, I just saw people then sort of going quite slowly, but I'm not quite sure what happened. I believe we are on lap 7 as well, so I think that little glitch has rectified itself, which is good to see.
Yeah, that's good. And in fact, Ben's he's made an early pit stop, however.
Beast has lost out to Ranger in the pit.
He is on the back of Merckx and Southerners now. Yeah, Beast has lost out. I think
he's lost out a lot.
That little delay because he's had to stack behind Southerners, because Southerners also came to pit on the same lap, so maybe a bit of a breakdown in communication there between the Virtuosi boys. Beast has definitely got some good pace though, so I'm sure he'll be trying to make up for lost ground. But yeah, Ranger, he's capitalised on that and he's moving himself up an extra position here. So yeah, Benz will still have to pit, as he pitted, I believe, on, was it lap 2? We've now got Merckx and Southerners. They're both going to be pushing now to try and get the undercut on Darnell, but Darnell stays out another lap, as does Zyjad. Racer Order coming into the pits now in the Cheroos. We've got Nicky staying out again for another lap, so we're seeing quite a few drivers here trying to stretch these medium compound tyres a little bit longer.
Battle for fifth, Harry.
Perhaps waiting for a safety car. We have got Jester and JH, as we say, battling it out. JH again making another move, so despite that spin earlier on, JH well, he picks himself back up, and he's
net P10 as well, so that might be the last point on the offer there between those two.
We've got Liam. I think Liam's hard compound tyres coming into play a little bit more here. as he's closing in on Sen in the battle for 6th here. I think Liam could be in a decent position here, Jam. Come the end of the race, he'll be on fresh mediums compared to the guys around him being on slightly older hards, and it might play into his hands a little bit, especially if there is a VSC or a safety car, although actually having said that, a VSC wouldn't be as much use to him, because it does not count as your mandatory pit stop if you pit behind the VSC. We've got Cooper Benz as well, he's come in to make his mandatory stop this time, and he's put on a set hard as well, so he's going to take them to the end. We've got Zajad coming in now this lap, Darnell as well, so is this 2-lap undercut that Merckx and Sumners have gone for, is it going to pay off for them, or are they going to have, well, not really gained anything and in fact perhaps lost a bit of time to Darnell? Merckx and Sumners really, they've been running within a second of each other for the last 3 or 4 laps, so well, I'm not sure if that will really have put them off too much, but it will definitely be helping Merckx with that DRS advantage. JH staying out yet another lap as well. His teammate was it his teammate in the pits? No, I'm getting the time mixed up. Darnell.
It's hard to tell, yeah.
JH is without a teammate, I think, today. Smoke getting another time penalty. I think Sem might have actually just overtaken Liam because the gap's just been stretched out quite a bit. Merckx and Sumners both, interestingly enough, Jam haven't managed, if I can get over to them. There we go, they haven't managed to jump Darnell. In fact,
yeah,
the gap stays pretty much the same. So now Merckx and Sumners both on 2-lap old tyres, 2-lap older tyres, should I say, than Darnell, and behind him. So that undercut strategy not really working for them. Zajad still out in front, he's still there. He's still out in front, he's got a pretty big lead now though, as it stands. He's actually coming on the back of Liam, who is yet to pit. We've got battle as well for 14th. We've got some battling going on.
Ranga's made a mistake, Harry.
Baggy and Nicky battling. What's happened to Ranga?
I think he just lost it on the power, and that's Labbeast ahead of him. He's lost quite a lot of time from that, about 2.5 seconds.
Nicky as well has just gotten himself past Baggy, and Nicky's now into 14th. Of course, the order's not entirely correct, as we've got a few drivers yet to pit. I think so. Are we going to see
Darnell?
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going to see a move for second place here? Well, or net P2. Goes to the outside. We're going wheel to wheel into turn 1 here. Darnell holding that inside line, and he's kept the place now. Although I think Sumners is perhaps trying to line up a move. He's compromised his entry into the first couple of corners to get a good exit, but he's not quite close enough to Darnell on this occasion. But well, I can assure you that won't be the last of these two battling it out on the track. Merckx as well, just sticking with them. I think unfortunately for Merckx, he's not in an amazing position here because he's, especially with obviously Sumners getting the type as well, he's not going to be close. He's not really going to have the speed advantage down the straights to get past Sumners.
Not, no,
given that he's also got the DRS.
Exits out of the final corner from what I've seen either, which probably isn't helping him. Although that could be to do with the dirty air, of course.
Yeah, and given that obviously the guys in front have DRS as well, it's going to prove even more difficult, I think, for Merckx to really get close and get the move done. But that won't stop him by any means. So Darnell running a little bit wide there through just on the exit time 14. Smoke getting another penalty, so Smoke's having a bit of a torrid time in the track limits by the looks of things.
Oh, and he's lost as well.
Again, not having the best of exits. Darnell's getting some very good exits out of this last corner, in fairness, and it just means that the guys ahead, or the guys behind, sorry, just aren't quite close enough. They don't quite have the run down into turn 1 to really challenge Darnell. So again, those three remain as they were, with Darnell, Sumners, Merckx being the order. We've got a little bit of position changes here in the lower point train positions as we've got drivers coming into the pits. JH just coming out of the pits behind Beast on fresher tyres, so JH is in a good position as well. I think Liam is now the only driver yet to pit, but he started on the hard tyres, of course. Hickling as well, just pitted.
turn 2.
On the exit, is that on the traction again?
It must have been all one of the curbs, because I don't think he was near anyone. And it doesn't look like he's got any sort of damage.
So the field as well now starting to spread out a little bit, as Idred's got about a 7-second lead. So he's really stamping his authority on this race, showing why he is so highly regarded in this F2 league, and Smoke's around again. So Smoke really struggling by the looks of things, picking up numerous penalties as well. I think that's the thing, Jam. We're seeing some of these top drivers, you know, struggling a little bit in the F2. You know, not trying to be too critical, but it just shows, you know, how different these cars are compared to the F1 cars, because we wouldn't be seeing Smoke spinning around and picking up penalties in the F1 cars. So it's really credit to the top guys in this division that they're managing to, you know, get the maximum out of the car whilst, you know, keeping it on the track and not getting the penalties. But obviously Smoke is a very good driver, we know that, of course. Just perhaps, you know, not putting the time and effort into the F2 compared to some guys, obviously like Zajad. You know, Zajad very committed to the F2, and it shows really. He's well, he's got 7.5 second lead out in front, as Liam's still yet to pit. So I wonder if Liam's just waiting it out, waiting for a safety car, seeing if well, he can, you know, capitalise on that, as we've got a lot of jostling for position now though, as Darnell and Summers and Merckx all getting up to Liam. Liam and Summers go side by side. Liam understeering into Summers through turn 9, and it's going to get Merckx through.
Merckx needed.
Merckx capitalising on that little bit of contact between Liam and Summers, and he's now up into P3. Double overtake from Merckx. Very nice move there. Down the straight and down the inside of turn 10, so he's gotten past not only Summers, who he's battling for position, but also Liam, who's yet to pit. So now Merckx, I think he's going to try and pressure Darnell for that P2 position, something that Summers couldn't quite manage to do. But I don't think this will be the end of Summers either, because he's still within DRS range of Merckx. Merckx losing the DRS to Darnell. That might give Darnell the opportunity that he needs to pull away from those two, as Liam does finally come to the pits. We've also got Beast and JH. They're just coming out of the final couple of corners now. I wonder if we're going to see a move here for P7. JH currently occupying reverse grip pole. So the question is, Jam, would you give up reverse grip pole just to get an extra point?
Yeah, I think I would, to be honest, because you've always got a chance of getting them back in the sprint race. You've got, I don't know, 10, 9 laps, something like that, to get that pass in the sprint. So yeah, you can get an extra point. You only start one place further down. It's about
it out now. Yeah, JH had a little look down the inside, but it was a bit of a half-hearted attempt, really. He did leave him the room though. Well, you know, to give him credit, he did leave him room. They're now battling it out. JH trying to go around the outside at turn 5. He's holding it on the inside though. It's a good battle in between them. A little bit of wheel banging, but nothing untoward here. This is just close racing. Oh, JH nearly clipping the back of Beast, but again, just a one of the contact. This is now the battle for P6, as Liam has pitted. He's down in P12 now. Ranga currently occupying that reverse grip pole position, but he's got SLR 7 right on the back of him. JH with the DRS coming out of turn 9. Has a little look into turn 10, but not quite close enough. He's not committing just yet to go for the move. There are still 5, 6 and a bit laps to go for these two. Darnell has managed to pull that gap away, as has Merckx. So Merckx is now comfortably out of Summoner's DRS. So that's well, that's crucial really for Merckx's race, to make sure that he was out of Summoner's DRS. But JH isn't giving this up just yet. Yeah, though, again, compromising his line through the final turn of turn 18, I want to say. But he has got the run though. He's got some good straight line speed by the looks of things in this Campos. Trying it again on the inside. Beast once again leaving him room, but again, JH not quite managing, just push past that Virtuosi, and it looks as though again he's not going to be quite close enough to get the move done going into time 4.
Oh, another spin
going at it. Beast running wide onto the grass, and Beast making that mistake. He's pitched for a penalty as well for his troubles, which does seem a bit harsh, but he's nearly lost the car. He did well to keep it on the track, but JH then taking advantage of Beast's little mistake there, and he's moved himself up into P6. So really Beast doing the hard work for JH. What's going on with Baggy Fan Jam?
Another spin at turn 2, hit him the lap before, baggy this time, and he went straight into the wall, so I should think, unfortunately for him, that's any chance he might have had of points over now.
We've also actually missed Sem getting past Wrangler, so Sem whilst JH and Beast really have been battling, he's managed to get himself up into P8, but he did just pick up a time penalty there on the exit of turn 9. Of course, penalties will play a factor in the finishing order, so maybe if Wrangler knows that Sem's got an extra penalty, you know, this is all hypothetical, me just sort of coming up with a scenario that could work, although Wrangler's trying some sort of drift through the final corner. I'm not sure that's quite the optimal line there, but each their own. He's got on the grass bit, got on the inside curb, timing in slightly too much, and he's lost the car slightly. Beast and JH will get over to that then. Beast trying it around the outside of turn 3. So again, these two really still going at it. It's been, this is 3-4 laps now that they've been jostling for position, going wheel to wheel through those first couple of corners, with JH this time doing the defensive work, and he's managed to keep Beast behind. Again, not really too many opportunities, there we go, I can get my words out, not too many opportunities in this middle sector for overtaking until we get to this back straight, but JH seemingly pulling away slightly now from Beast. Beast, I think, trying to hold on to the back of the Campos, but JH does seem to just have the pace advantage at the moment. Someone else who has a pace advantage, not only over Beast, but over the whole field, is Zydrad, as JH makes a big mistake on the traction coming out of turn 10, and now he's got Beast right on the back of him. Zydrad now 9.2 seconds ahead, and he's just set another fastest lap for those that are wondering how he's getting on. As that's really put Beast, it's put JH in the firing line. It's put him under pressure from Beast, and he's going to get a run through the final corner. Just had to lift off the throttle a little bit though to avoid running wide, and I think he might have just compromised his run down the straight. Although having said that, he's still got that good straight line speed with the DRS and the Super Team. He's going to move to the outside. JH slightly later on the brakes, but Beast threading it round the outside of the Campos. That's a really good move. He can pull it off, but again, he's on the outside of turn 3. JH now going to be getting that understeer, and well, I think that was destined to happen really with the understeer that JH would have been getting. Just again, a little bit of unfortunate contact that really couldn't be helped, as we got Wrangler off again. He's in the gravel on the exit turn 3. How's he lost it there? That's well, he must have just gotten he's really struggling. I think his tyres have gone. I think Wrangler must have just got a bit of a, I don't know, gust of wind or something around the exit turn 3. The cars are so easy to lose once they go round, in his defence. I mean, we've all been there.
Darnell as well, Harry. So I think we might see a late fight for P2 once again. That's not quite in the DRS. Right. He's about a second, 1.1 seconds behind, so he'll be able to close that gap down a bit more this next lap to maybe have a shot right at the end.
Yeah, that's really well played from Merckx actually. I thought this battle for P2 was all but over once Darnell had pulled that 2-second gap. But in fact, Merckx has really stepped it up a level actually. He's pulled away from Summoners considerably, and he is actually Sejan now right on the back of Darnell. He's going to be getting the DRS, I think, on the back straight. Zydrad now almost 10 seconds ahead. We'll just flick over to him just briefly, as we've not actually given him any stream time. There we go, look at him, just in control of this race. Smooth as you like. Really dominating the field, as he has been really throughout the season, especially in the feature race. I believe he's taken pole at every round as well this season, although I may be wrong on that one. It's purple though through the sectors as well. It looks effortless really, Jan. He doesn't seem like he's, pushing as hard as perhaps he could be, and yet he's still going faster than anyone else.
Yeah.
Here we go then, crosses the line. I think it's going to be another fastest lap. It is another fastest lap from Zydrad. And we're going to go back yet again to this battle between JH and Beast. It's still the battle for 6th place. JH once again slightly losing it on the traction coming out of turn 10. Beast still not quite close enough to go for a move though. Final sector as well, not really known for its overtaking opportunities. but Beast is really close. Look at how close he is to the back of this Campos coming out of the final few turns. He's going to get the run, I think, down onto the straight if we go on board with Beast now in the Virtuosi. He's got the run, he's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream. I think this is going to be a little bit easier than the lap prior, as we've got... Who's that off?
Ranger again.
Who's that? Ranger again. I think he is struggling. I think his tyres must have overheated. So difficult to keep control of the car once the tyres have overheated. But Beast does get the move done. He is up into P6. But I don't think that'll be the end of it. I think JH will look to come back. He's already gotten past Beast once in this race, so I'm sure he'll look to try and do it again. Beast setting a purple first sector as well. I think that'll be a little bit with the help of the slipstream and the DRS.
Mark's been DRS.
Well, this race has flown by, hasn't it, Jan? This race has flown by.
Yeah, but
and
I don't think he's quite done yet. Might get a last gas move for P2 for Merckx here, although if he's not quite close enough, I shouldn't think he'd be the sort to throw a lunge, a hopeful lunge at the inside. Merck's quite a reserve driver, keeps a level head.
JH not quite close enough.
Yeah,
not quite
Merckx
close enough
ruined any chance he might have had of P2, unfortunately for him. Although it should still be a podium, at least on track anyway.
So Zydrad setting yet another fastest lap as he does start the final lap. As you mentioned, Merckx then not going to be close enough, I don't think, to go for a move. I was just flicking over to see if JH could get a move done on Beast, but he wasn't quite close enough either, going to the hairpin of turn 10. And I don't think he's going to be close enough either going into turn 1 by the looks of things on the mini-map. So I think the order, obviously bar anyone making a bit of a mistake, is pretty much settled, although having said that, we have got Nicky right on the back of Liam. This is the battle for 10th, the final points playing position, but Liam is on fresh mediums, Nicky on old hards, or fresher mediums should I say. So this isn't going to be terribly easy for Nicky, I don't think. He has a look around the outside, but Liam defends it well to the inside. Good defending from Liam there. And I think with that tyre advantage, that will be all she wrote for 10th place. JH, in fact, Jan, isn't giving this one up. He is right on the back of Beast as we go through the chicane turn 7 and 8. He has just picked up a time penalty, running slightly wide on the exit of turn 7 as Zydrad has crossed the line. Apologies that I've missed that, but Zydrad has absolutely stormed this feature race here at Catalunya, won by 12 seconds over.
Fastest lap on the last lap
15
as well.
after penalties, fastest lap as well. Merckx gets P2 after penalties, so good drive from him. Southerners P4, Darnell was third. I think it's going to be Race Roller. He's been pretty quiet, Race Roller, but he is going to come home in P5, so very strong result from him. It'll be interesting to see what the order is once Beast and JH cross the line, because they've been going at it for the last 5-6 laps. Beast crossed the line, he's 6th, JH 7th after penalties. Sem crossed the line, P8. Jester is 9th. Is that going to be reverse grid pole as well for Sem? I'm sure he'd love that. Yes, it is. So Sem on reverse grid pole, Jester in 9th. Liam comes home 10th, although he had Nicky right behind him. So Nicky didn't drop off as we thought he might. So Liam holds on to 10th. Nicky is 11th. Benz in the other Arden is going to come home 12th. Baggy Fan was 13th in the Framer, and 14th was Ranger. We had 4 retirees. They were hidden in the smoke. Vigo and McEwen, who unfortunately retired on the first lap. But yeah, Zydrad, I'll apologise to him if he does watch this back. There won't be there won't be much of him in the stream. I mean, it's not because obviously we don't appreciate what a great drive it was to win by, well, what was it, 14 seconds near enough in the end. Very impressive. It was more the fact that there was so much action going on throughout the field that we just weren't able to catch much of his race. But there he is, lifting the trophy then, the Carlin driver, P1 in this feature race. Another 25 points in the bag, plus the 2 for the fastest lap and the 4 points for pole. Zydrad, he's really, well, he's putting his stamp down on this F2 division with yet another win. Merckx comes home P2, very good drive from Merckx. Darnell is 3rd, so Darnell just losing out after penalties, but again, he had a very solid drive to come home in P3. 4th was Southerners in the Virtuosi. His teammate of Beast was 6th. They were split by the ART of Race Roller. Beast coming all the way from 16th to come home P6, so very good drive from Beast. JH comes home 7th after that spin earlier on, so good recovery from him. Sem is on reverse grid pole, he came home P8. Then it is Jester in the other Charoos, he is in 9th, and Liam in the Dams, he is 10th. So then Jam, dominant drive from Zydrad. Is he going to be able to carve his way through the field though at a track that is notoriously difficult to overtake at?
Well, I think it will definitely be interesting to watch. Obviously, he's only starting 8th, and I say only because he seems to have such a pace advantage over the rest of the field that I reckon he probably could do it. Although we have seen a few times this season that he's been caught up in incidents on the first laps or the first few laps.
Rain!
Oh, that's throwing a span in the works.
It's raining.
So,
oh, we did not expect that.
No, not at all. This will really mix it up now. I should think. Although I should imagine Zydrad will still be pretty quick in the wet. You know, the amount of laps, the amount of hours he's put into these F2 cars. So yeah, he'll be one to watch. I'm backing him for the win, to be honest, Harry.
I think, well, it's quite an old-fashioned quote, I think, now for 2020, but I think this is probably where you're going to separate the men from the boys, perhaps, in this division. We're going to see those that are really on top of the cars, really, you know, well-versed with how to drive these F2 cars, come through to the front, especially given the wet conditions now. That'll really show who is, who's up there in the division, who isn't. So I think as the wet weather normally does, it does tend to lean towards, preferring driving ability, I think, perhaps over car performance, or at least in real life. Obviously, we've got equal cars here, and in F2 they're equal cars, but, to a degree at least, they're equal cars. So I think, given that, we are going to see perhaps, quote-unquote, the better drivers, or the ones, like I say, that are a bit more well-versed with these F2 cars come through to the front of the field. But obviously we'll have to wait and see, because the rain not only throws a span into the works to that degree, but it also does cause maybe a few more incidents than perhaps you'd normally see. As well as that, having said that, Zydrad has got some very good drivers ahead of him. Merckx, Darnell, Summoners. I mean, Race Roller came home 5th. Very strong race from him. Beast, we know, is very good in these F2 cars and, of course, in the F1 cars. JH and Sem as well. Sem, I believe, had a podium last time out in the Netherlands. And, of course, we know JH is a very solid driver as well, because he had that brilliant recovery in the feature race after that spin. So it's not going to be easy for Zydrad to come through and try and get to the front. And I don't think he'll be the only one that's aiming to do that. Obviously, Merckx ahead of him, Darnell, Summoners, they're all sort of fighting it out for that second place in the championship at the moment. As well, it'll be interesting to see what McEwen can do from 18. As, of course, the top 8 are the... those are the drivers that score in the session. Left the session as well.
It'll be interesting to see if...
we need to get him back in ASAP if we can, but I think his car might have gone, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to drive.
Oh, that would be disappointing.
Well, that would be really unfortunate, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be disappointing.
I was just about to say, Harry, it'd be interesting to see if it gets wetter, because it looks like it is, but they're all out on the dries, of course, at the moment.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They either need it to get wetter or dry up, because they could be on the wrong tyres here for the start, and that would not end well, I should imagine.
So Jam,
back,
perceptive, perceptive as ever. You've caught that the drivers are out on the slicks. Zydra's back in, so hopefully he'll be able to start the race. So actually, that's another interesting thing to see. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but we have got 3 drivers on the mediums. The most notable of which is Race Roller. He's in P4, starting on the medium, so he's going to have the tyre advantage as well. And if they have to pit for wets, he's going to be in a really good position, you'd think, starting on those softer compound tyres. If he can get the most out of them at the start of the race, at least, that could prove really, really good for him.
Yeah,
I hadn't actually noticed that as well, so that's really good that you did.
Yeah, maybe Race Roller has noticed something that we haven't with the weather. Well, of course, we can't actually see it. I'm not sure if Zydra's back in. I think it looks like he is, because his car's no longer ghosting, but I just hope we can actually get the lights to start the race now. Although it doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I really hope it does. because the weather would have been really interesting as well. And if they just put it wet, then that's not gonna
I
be
think
the
if
same.
Zydrad were to leave the session, he'd be able to join back in. So it may, I don't know if he can hear us or if anyone's able to tell him that. I think that is the cause of the problem. I believe he would be able to get back into his car were he to leave the session, and I think that would solve the issue, although it does seem as though that isn't the issue, because Merckx has just crossed the line and done a 2:06 and is now not in the session anymore. So I don't entirely know what's happening. So I just left this. I don't quite know what happened there. Let's try and get back in. So yeah, once again, apologies for that, guys. That's going to be annoying because I think the race was just starting. So yeah,
I'm having a look if anyone's saying anything. Because if they're not, I should imagine they're racing, and that would not be good.
What we got? I think I joined the session. We'll have a look.
I'm trying to get back in. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I think they are driving then. I'm joining the session, so hopefully we'll be able to get back in. What's going on? I think they are driving, so yeah, that's really annoying. I don't think there's a great deal that could be done about that. But we'll try and sort of pick up what's happening. What we got? Come on. It's loading. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we have got the race going. Zydrad, in fact, is already in the lead. Although that's just a glitch, actually, with the on-screen graphics. If we bring up the track map, I believe it is JH who's in the lead, but we have got a safety car already, Jam. As they start lap 2? I don't know, it was lap 2, JH crossed the line, but it's still lap 2. So I really couldn't tell you. We have got JH from Sem, then it's Crafty's Jester and Race Roller. Donnell is P5 with Beast in 6th. Nicky is 7th. Then we got Ranga in P8. Baggy is 9th and Vigo is 10th. It says Zydrad's leading, but he's in about 15th, I think. 15th, yeah, right at the back of that queue. Hicklin's DNF. Yeah, 14th, I believe, because Hicklin's DNF.
And now they're all passing the safety car as well. I'm not sure if Zydrad's
I think it's glitched out. I think basically Zydrad's a lap up on everyone, and that's a glitch. Hence, they've all been able to pass the safety car. Or at least that's what I want to say. Unless Zydrad is just a lap ahead somehow. By which I would, well, that would be mightily impressive. But I believe his car is currently ghosted. So, well, this is classic, really. If you're new to SLR, this isn't a one-off. This is becoming quite the regular occurrence, it seems, with the game at the moment, that it just doesn't work. So I don't entirely know what's going on. As usual, you know, when do I actually know what's going on? When I'm streaming. But yeah, I believe we'll go with this. We'll go with that Zydrad has well, Zydrad disconnecting has unfortunately caused the lobby to glitch out, and JH is actually the leader of the race, we'll go with, because I'd be very surprised if Zydrad was actually a lap ahead of everyone.
I don't think
when
he's
the safety
actually
car
in
came out.
the game.
Yeah, I don't think he is, because his car's ghosted, isn't it? So we'll say JH is leading. Zydrad is, well, P17. And then everyone moves up a position. There we go. We'll go with that for now. Obviously, that may change after stewarding and whatnot. But
Yeah.
as
I'm
it
not
stands,
sure
we'll
what's
say
going to happen.
JH is leading. I don't either. Have we got anyone on the wets as well? Actually, yes, we have.
Oh
Cooper
yes,
Benz pitted
Cooper
for the
Benz.
wets. Could be an inspired coup, especially with the safety car. Although, are they ever actually going to be able to catch up to the safety car? I'm not sure if they will, but
I'm interested to see what happens
hey-ho.
when Liam catches up to it.
yeah, maybe keep an eye on that if you could then, Jam. Obviously,
I
there's
will,
not
yeah.
really racing going on at the moment. They're all just going around in formation, given that it is safety car conditions, as it were. Although none of them are actually behind the safety car. So, yeah.
I don't
Right
think
then.
the problem's the safety car coming
Yeah.
out. I think the problem is people leaving and disconnecting from the lobby on the formation lap. It just seems to sort of mess the whole lobby up.
Break the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that is the case. So yeah, we'll try and get some sort of order established then once this safety car comes in. But like I say, I believe it is JH in the lead at the moment. But well, like I say, we don't 100% know that. What's going on with Liam? Is he going to be able to pass
He's
Zydrad
just
and the
caught
safety
up
car?
to them, so I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
What is it with us two streaming and the game breaking? Ben's has also just crashed, Jam. Coming out of turn 9. So I'm not sure if it's quite wet enough for the wets yet. I'd assume that would be the cause of his crash. Liam doesn't seem to be able to overtake
No,
the
he
safety
doesn't.
car and Zydrad. So I don't know. I don't know, basically. Let's have a look quickly. So is Zydrad actually in the game now? Zydrad's car is now solid. But like I say, I'd be extremely surprised if he was a lap ahead. Unfortunately, my Twitch chat isn't updating. So I don't know if anyone's actually in contact with the guys racing at the moment and can tell us. Or maybe you could just quickly join someone's party, Jam, perhaps?
I'll see if I
something.
can.
I don't know. We'll try and find out what's happening then, guys. But yeah, obviously, like I say, F1 2020 doesn't really seem to work, unfortunately. Well, obviously, you know, the basic fundamentals of it do, but everything in between kind of doesn't. We're kind of just having to sort of go with the flow, really, try and work out what's happening. And so, yeah, we're kind of left with this, where we're sort of in limbo, really, between some sort of reality where the race is going on and someone somewhere, and the actual one that we're watching where we've got Zydrad a lap ahead behind the safety car. The safety car is as well coming in this lap, so no one apart from Zydrad and Liam here are going to be able to catch up to it as well. So that was also pretty pointless. We've got Smoke, who's nearly been lapped as well by JH and Sem. Is it just me, or I'm really trying to work out whether these guys are racing or whether this is just a glitch for us, because we've seen safety car glitches for us before, like in Vietnam for the Division 1 race where the safety car was just driving around in quali. But we are back underway. Green flag running. I'm gonna try and get Jam back in the party, and we'll try and find out what's going on. Right then, what's going on? What we got? It won't let me switch between drivers. Right, hello Jam. What's happening? What's
I
happening?
I haven't found out much. Merckx was saying he was going to suggest a restart, but he wasn't sure if everyone would see it, and he needs to speak to Darnell about it. So then he went and joined the party with Darnell, and now I think we're just going to wait and see what they say about it. But
Is Zydrad racing or what? Have we
as
established
far
that? Or
as far as I'm aware, Zardrad is in 15th or 14th place or something. He's
okay,
just ahead of
alright.
Liam, and that's his net position, as far as I'm
Yeah.
aware. As far as I'm aware, it's
Okay.
JH leading,
Alright,
but
yeah,
that could
that
be
sounds
completely wrong.
plausible. Yeah, well, whilst we're still driving in this current race, whether it's restarted or not, I don't know. We have got Merckx, Summoners, and Baggy all battling it out for P9, as it were. And it looks as though Merckx is going to try and make it 3 wide going into turn 4. He gets up the inside, so Merckx again with a very good overtake, but Summoners is coming back at him. Merckx cuts a bit across him there, and Summoners has a look down the inside into turn 5, but he's just not quite close enough. So Merckx getting up into P9. We've got JH out in front. He's extending that gap a little bit. Sem after the safety car restart. Darnell is closing in on the back of Racer as well. So we'll have a look at that. And someone's gone very deep there. Oh, that is Smoke.
Smoke getting out of the way.
But these drivers now starting to struggle, I think, with the wet conditions. I wonder if we are going to see someone gamble and go into the wets. But we have got now Racer not really seemingly capitalising on that advantage that the medium tyres are giving him. Because he's got Darnell all over the back of him here in the MP car. And he's just again slightly sliding through these final corners. But I don't think it is quite wet enough for wet tyres. Baggy's just lost it as well, I think, coming out of turn 13. Again, not close enough to make a move. This is a characteristic, really, of this Spanish Grand Prix circuit. Just not quite. As Chester and Beast have had to come together, I think Chester's in the wall. It's not really typically known for overtaking, and I think, well, that's kind of being displayed rather well here, given the fact that. Well, down the straights anyway, the driver's not really able to get close enough to make a move. Although we have seen some very good moves, but they've been rather opportunistic at times. As we've got McEwen and Summoners now battling it out. So McEwen's already up to 10th after starting last. So he's been making some solid progress. In fact, he's actually 9th. Or we believe he's 9th. We've got a few drivers in the pits, but neither pitting for the wets.
To be honest,
we're on lap 8.
Lap 8, lap 9. Although the laps are only taking over when Zydrad crosses the line, because every time JH crosses the line, nothing happens. And I'm almost 100% sure that JH is in the net lead and Zydrad's in about 12, 13. So
I would assume that JH has just started the 8th lap there. That would be my guess.
I can have a look, actually.
I mean,
JH is on his 8th lap.
But I'd find it very hard to believe that Zydrad is 37 seconds ahead in 8 laps.
And there being a safety car. No, it's
being a safety car and he disconnected. Yeah, and he disconnected as well. We have got Summoners battling with McEwen Jam. Summoners and McEwen battling it out for P9. But again, not an overtake to be made, as Summoners not quite close enough going into turn 1. Like I say though, when we have seen overtakes tonight, they have been very impressive. We have seen some very good moves. So the driver's not really being held back too much by the lack of overtaking opportunities on the straights. They've created some of their own here as we see Summoners trying it around the outside of McEwen. He's getting very close to the back of that MP Motorsport car. Battling it out now through this middle sector. We've got Darnell right on the back of Racer We've got blue flags, yellow flags in the first sector, right on the start-finish straight. Don't know quite what's happened there. We've got someone just gone off as well. I think Merckx has just gone off. And Racer as well has just lost out to Darnell. So Darnell's just gotten past Racer. Darnell's now up into the final podium position. He's in P3. We've got Baggy Fan as well in the pits. I think he's just retired. Yeah, so
Well,
Race
no,
Roller
that's
just
no
losing
damage,
out
so.
to Darnell. So I wonder if Race Roller now is starting to suffer from the tyre wear a little bit. Although he's going for a move now on Darnell. Is he going to get the move done? Running outside into turn 1. They're battling out. DRS is enabled as well. Race Roller looks to have gotten the move done here, so he's fought back. And
I believe this is
back
the
up into P3.
Yeah, I believe it's the battle for third.
Southerners and McEwen as well battling for the final points paying position. So these two obviously have benefited from Merckx going off and have gotten themselves up into
actually spun as well, Harry.
8th, sorry.
A rare mistake from the championship leader. I'm not quite sure what he's doing now.
Is he back in now?
Well, he's been saying he's racing, and as far as he's aware, he's 30 odd seconds ahead of everyone, which I'm quite confused about. I'm not sure if he's waiting up for them all. As JH has taken a massive trip across the grass as well, from what I've seen. Yes, I just going slowly on the straight.
Surely it's a bit too late now to wait up for them on the 10th lap, I mean, Race Roller's just gone deep into turn 10, jams, so Darnell's back up ahead of him. Sorry if you want to carry on.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know what they're going to do about this, but if Zarja, what I suspect he's doing is waiting up and then he's gonna race them. Seems a bit dodgy to me. That seems like he's gained quite a lot of an advantage, because
it's like, where would you put yourself? Because you started P8,
yeah.
Start battling JH for the lead, it just seemed a bit.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. Anyway,
no. Well, it's not really our decision to make, but that's just what I was thinking about it.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure he's going to play it.
Meanwhile, we've got one of the admins battling it out for P4 then, I guess we'll call it for now, with Race Roller going down the inside. Big lock up though. I think the rain is starting to come down a bit heavier now, so it does look as though they are struggling a little bit, as Zagras just given the lead back to JH and then Sem, so I don't quite know what's happening now. We've now got Darnell's up into P4, Race Roller's 5th.
Sem going really slowly as well for some reason. I think he might have got an illegal overtake.
I think it's
from what it looks like.
Rain heavier now as well, Jam. It looks as though the wets might be the preferred tyre compound. As Beast is now trying to go for a move on Race Roller. It's going to be who's going to go the latest on the brakes, especially given that they are going to start sort of locking up and sliding around in the wet conditions. Douglas pulled over and is letting people through, so that's very good of him. I mean, like you say, it's kind of, what do you do, because you don't really know what's going on. He's pulling off now as well to let Nicky by, as Sem's lost out a lot.
Yeah, he's letting everyone
know what's happened to him. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, Zarja's already gotten himself 31 points this weekend, but obviously I'm sure he would have wanted more. As now Sem is causing a little bit of a traffic jam behind him. They're all bottling up.
He goes to
Darnell's looking for a move. I wonder if someone might as well just gamble for the wet, because it does look as though it is pretty much time for them. So we've got Vigo just off on the pit straight. We've got Darnell going for a move on Sem, down the inside into turn 1. Gets the move done on the trident driver, so Darnell up into Q2, JH absolutely miles ahead, 50 seconds.
Sem's coming back at him, sorry.
So Sem's coming back at him though, as you say.
And Race Roller's going to get involved as well, I think, on those mediums. Still working well for him.
So Sem trying it round the outside of turn 3, and Race Roller's really hit the back of him there, but he didn't want to keep it out the back of that trident.
Turn 2. Turn 2's claimed another victim in this race.
So these 4 now, with Beast getting involved as well, battling it out for P2, as Sem's going for it again on Darnell, down the inside into turn 7. What a move from Sem. Gets it done as well. Brilliant overtake there from the trident driver, and Darnell's got a pretty poor exit, and Race Roller's gone through as well, so Race Roller's snuck through back up into P3, and I wonder if Race Roller's now going to have to run on Sem, as rank has gone round as well, I think. Race Roller getting a bit loose there, under braking, and they're all starting to slide around now. I think it must be surely about time for the wets, but it's going to be who's going to risk it, who's going to risk that track position to go for the wets, especially with there only being 2 laps to go in this race.
JH is carrying on. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest.
I don't
It's
think
about
it
30
is
second
now,
pit stop. You're not going to gain that much even on the wet.
DRS as well is still enabled.
P2 here, Harry.
Too far back is he? Yeah. They're all locking up though. Darnell nearly going into the back of Race Roller. Oh, but Sem's got a poor exit, champ. And I think Race Roller's going to have a go now, is he?
Sort of waiting,
Spreading the throttle on.
This could be an interesting final lap and a half.
They're all just being so cautious, especially the braking zone's getting bigger now as well. Making sure to try not to hit you. Race Roller's having a look round the outside of Sem into turn.
We'll switch back.
5. A little bit of a twitch there on the traction.
Oh, they're all going deep. Beast looking at the inside of
Beast's got a
Darnell.
run.
Turn 9.
Beast has got a run on Darnell.
In these conditions.
I don't think he's just had to drop back. It's not quite worked for him. Race Roller's got the DRS on Sem. As we look forward now to this battle. Sem though covering it off well, and Darnell's just tapped the back of Race Roller, sorry. Thankfully nothing more than that though, just a little bit of a tap on the rear end.
Beast is gone
for the move on Darnell but losing the back end.
Ooh.
Now,
Thought he was in the wall then.
so Beast trying it up the inside of Darnell but just losing it on the traction seemingly. Now Race Roller's got the run on Sem, but look at this, they're all sliding through the final few turns. Sem's managed to get a very good run out the left corner though, and Darnell, as you say, now putting Race Roller under pressure. So these two battling out for the final podium position here, and Darnell is going to get it done, is he? But Race Roller might have a little look at the inside, but he's just locked up those rears and nearly spun the car round. He does well to catch it though, and all the while Sem is just pulling away. He's he's trying to.
They're all losing it.
Nearly losing it through turn 3. He's drifting it about now, but he's again just managed to hold it. That's another thing as well, Jam. Credit to these guys. We've seen pretty much every time someone's nearly lost the car, they caught it very well. As we said, JH still out in front, 17.7 seconds ahead. He's absolutely dominating this race. Darnell as well, trying to close up to Sem, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Sem getting a P2 last week in the sprint race. I think he's going to repeat that today. Although I won't speak too soon. Oh, Race Roller going in very deep there, locking up, spinning that rear, but he's not lost out.
Oh, Beast is gone
in terms of position.
There with it just
and Beast
about.
is clearly losing it as well.
JH wins though.
JH crosses the line to win then. So it's going to be Campos on the top step of the podium here. It's going to be a Trident in P2 of SLR Sem, or at least on track it will be. So Sem crosses the line and comes home P2, followed by Darnell who's third. Darnell gets P2 though after penalties, and Race Roller gets P3 after penalties, so Sem losing out on not one but two positions after penalties. He drops to fourth. Beast comes home in fifth. Nicky sixth. Merckx apparently has won the race, so good job Merckx. I don't think that's quite true, but there we go. Summoners is 7th, McEwen is 8th. I don't actually know where Merckx finished on track, but yeah. What's that? Jester, I'm frazzled. The game's broken me again. 9 possibly. Zydrad maybe 10th. Liam could be 11th. I don't know when Merckx actually finished. But JH definitely did win that race after a fashion, possibly, maybe.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know.
Won. 100% JH
so JH wins the sprint race here at Spain. Merckx gets driver of the day, so good job Merckx. He's hacked the game. I don't know quite how he's pulled that one off. JH wins then the Spanish Grand Prix, the sprint race here in F2. Then it was Darnell P2 and Race Roller was third. You know, I'll leave the order to the admins to work out, because it's gone way over my head now.
I think they better leave the interviews as well, because it's
guess
just
it.
so...
Guess it.
So
Literally,
messed up.
I'll make up an order yourself, send it to us, and that is probably going to be closer to the correct order than what we've just got here. But from what we've got, I'll try and give you one that's possibly right. So JH then, I think, has won the race. Merckx as well with an 11-second fastest lap. Zajad challenging that with a 53-second lap. So yeah, good from them. I think Southerners, by the looks of things, has actually got the legitimate fastest lap there on a 39 flat. So JH wins the race. Darnell P2 race roller was third. Sam unfortunately losing out on the podium position after penalties. He came home fifth, but it's actually fourth. Beast is fifth. Then it's Nicky sixth. Southerners comes home P7 and I believe should have fastest lap. Then it is McEwen in the final points paying position in P8. Then it's Jester, Liam, Zydrad. Merckx is in there somewhere as well, I think. Ranga, Vigo, Baggy, Smoke, Benz and Hicklin all DNF'd. Or did they? It's a mystery. But there we go. God, when are we gonna have one race where something doesn't glitch out and just fry my brain?
Oh, I wish I could say.
That's what I want. But there we go. I think you're right, Jam. We should probably leave the podium interviews because, I mean, I don't personally actually know who came where for half of the races. But I would like to congratulate everyone. I thought that was tremendous racing as well. Tried our best to commentate over it given the circumstances. I probably didn't do it justice. Some of those moves were very good, especially in the wet conditions as well. The car control was top notch, it has to be said. Congratulate Zydrad as well for winning the feature race in dominant fashion, getting pole and fastest lap as well. And also I congratulate JH on probably most likely winning the sprint race, again in dominant fashion as well. And I'd like to congratulate all the drivers as well. I thought it was, like I say, very good racing, very competitive, very good battling as well on display. Solid points as well scored for majority of the drivers there. And I would also like to thank everyone for watching as well. It's obviously good to show support for not just the F1 but also the F2. And I think that is going to be it for tonight, but obviously be sure to join us tomorrow for Division 1. That is at 9 p.m. UK time. And then Division 2 and 3 on Saturday. Those are at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. UK time respectively. And then for the Elite Division on Sunday, which is at 7 p.m. UK time. And yeah, just be sure to join us obviously throughout the rest of the season. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I've been Ham. I've been joined by Jam. So again, cheers for joining me, Jam. It's been a pleasure as always.
No worries, mate. Yeah, really enjoyed it, despite more issues in the game.
Yeah, so thank you all and good night.